Hi, in this video we'll learn how to solve linear inequalities. So in linear inequalities you will see these signs less than, greater than, less than equal to, or greater than equal to instead of the equal to sign. So you will see these signs instead of the equal to sign, and the good thing is that you can solve the linear inequalities in the same way like you solve the linear equation. And I've put the link to solve the linear equations in this video. If you have any doubts, you can refer to that video. So let's get started. Let's look at the first example. I have x minus 12 is greater than equal to 8. So we have to solve this inequality the same way like we solved the linear equation. So we want x by itself. We have to solve it for x. We want x by itself. So first of all, we want to get rid of 12, negative 12. So we'll add 12 on both the sides. Add 12 on both the sides. Now, negative 12 and positive 12, they cancel out each other. The left-hand side, we have x, and then greater than equal to sign, 8 plus 12 will give me 20. So value of x is greater than equal to 20. So if you put anything greater than or equal to 20 in this equation, if you plug any value of x which is greater than or equal to 20, then you will get anything which is greater than equal to 8. Now let's look at the other example. We have 9n minus 1 is less than 10n. So what we have to do again is, first of all, we need to bring all the variables to one side. So I can subtract this equation by 9n from both the sides. So let's subtract it, 9n. And this will cancel out each other. The left-hand side, we just have negative 1 greater than, and 10n minus 9n will give me 1n. And I can write that as just n. It's not necessary to write 1 in front of n. So negative 1 is less than n, or n is greater than negative 1. Because you change the positions, you flip the sign. Negative 1 is less than n, or we can say that n is greater than negative 1. Let's look at the other example. So I have negative n over 6 is less than equal to 8. Now in this, we need n by itself. So what we're going to do is we'll divide this, we'll multiply the equation by 6 on both the sides. So let's multiply the equation by 6. So if you multiply by 6 on both the sides, 6 and 6 will cancel out each other. On the left-hand side, you have negative n greater than equal to 8 times 6 will be 48. Now, one small rule we have to remember for the inequality is whenever you multiply or divide by negative number, you flip the sign. You have to flip the sign whenever you multiply or divide by a negative number. So here I have negative n, and I want n by itself. I have to get rid of the negative sign. And I can write negative n as negative 1n. So I have to divide both the sides by negative 1 to get rid of the negative sign. So I'll divide both sides by negative 1. Now, since I have divided both sides by a negative number, I need to swap the inequality. So I'll change the sign. I'll swap it. So this becomes greater than equal to. And on the left-hand side, negative 1 and negative 1 will cancel out each other. I have n. And then here, 48 divided by negative 1 will be negative 48. So my final answer will be n greater than equal to negative 48. So this is the small rule which you have to remember. Whenever you multiply or divide by a negative sign, you need to swap the inequality. Let's look at another example. I have 4 parentheses 3t minus 5 plus 7 is greater than or equal to 8t plus 3. Now, according to the rule, we have to solve the parentheses first. So I'll distribute 4 inside the parentheses. I'll multiply 4 with 3t first and then with negative 5. So 4 times 3t will give me 12t, and then I have the negative sign. 4 times 5 will give me 20. Then I have plus 7 is greater than or equal to 8t plus 3. Now, I see that these two are the like terms, so I can combine them first. So I will write 12t, negative 20 plus 7 will give me negative 13. Then I have the greater than or equal to sign, 8t plus 3. Again, I have to bring all the variables to one side, so I will subtract 8t on both the sides. 8t, and I get rid of this, so this is eliminated. 12t minus 8t will give me 4t minus 13 greater than or equal to, I'll bring down 3 here. Now, I want t by itself, so I will add 13 on both the sides. Add 13 on both the sides. These two cancel out each other. Left hand side, I have 4t greater than or equal to 3 plus 13 will give me 16. And then I need t by itself. I want t by itself. So now I will divide both sides of the equation by 4 to get t by itself. Divide by 4. Here 4 and 4 cancel out each other. So left hand side I have t greater than or equal to 16 divided by 4 will give me 4. So my final answer is t is greater than 4. Now if you plug in any value which is greater than or equal to 4 in this equation, so you will get something on the left hand side which will be greater than or equal to something on the right hand side. Now let's take a look at the last example. I have negative 11y minus 13 is greater than 42. How do I solve this? So I want y, first of all, I want to get rid of, since I want y by itself, I have to get rid of negative 13. So I'll add 13 on both the sides first. Add 13. So negative 13 and positive 13 will cancel out each other. And I have negative 11y on the left hand side. Greater than sign, 42 plus 13 will give me 55. Now, I want y by itself. Again, I want to get rid of negative 11 from the left hand side. So I will divide the equation by negative 11 on both the sides. Again, what you have to do when you multiply or divide by a negative number, you have to swap the inequality. So this time we'll swap the inequality since we have divided the equation by a negative number. So here, negative 11 and negative 11 will cancel out each other. I'll bring down y. Y is less than 55 divided by 11 will be 5. And then I have to put the negative sign in front of it since it's 55 divided by negative 11. So y is less than negative 5. So this is just a simple rule which you have to remember. Everything else is just the same. Like you have to solve the linear inequalities exactly the same way like you solve the linear equation.